Hi everyone. Hello. Sab here in Paris, going live with a slight logistics problem. I'm going to be huddling today, because there is wind and potentially rain. So I'm hoping that it doesn't make this horrible to listen to. I'm actually covering my microphone. I was going to be walking in the countryside, but I thought that would definitely be a no-no. So I'm just going to check in and say hello. It's day 4, the day that day 4 of 81 days when I encourage you to be as creative as you would love to be, and I show you what I've been up to too. And I also show you some of the things that you have been up to. As I said, I'm huddling, trying to hide the microphone from the wind, so it's going to be kind of weird, and we'll see how it goes. Say hello in the comments if you like. I don't generally look at the comments until I've finished, because it can kind of make the viewing experience a bit choppy. So, but maybe I will. If you want to say hello, then someone's saying hello, and I don't know who you are. Love to see you. Hi, Sab. Hello. I've got a viewer. I've got 2 viewers. This is a first. I've only ever had 1 before. So I am looking at the comments, not doing what I said. I don't know who you are. If you want to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and say yes, then I can see who you are. Otherwise, you'll have to say, hi, Sab. It's such and such. So this is my 81 days. It's day 4. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to carry on until day 81, but that's the whole point, really. It's to see if I can, and to encourage you to be creative along with me. So what have I been up to? Well, I'll show you my photo of the day. I'm just slowly getting into the rhythm of this thing. So I'm going to show you my photo of the day. Did I record it? I don't even know if I did. And then, oh, silly me. I don't seem to have my photo of the day, which, what was it? Yeah. Oh, well, never mind. Yes, I do. Good grief. So there it is. Ah! And this is a face. And it looks like the guy has had a major fight because he's lost his nose and had it stuck on again. And this was attached to, I don't know if you remember, but about 120 years ago, they used to have these massive international exhibitions called Exposition Universelle, no less, Universal Expositions. And this guy was part of the main door. And I found him in a village next to mine, funnily enough, because they got scattered. All this stuff, if it didn't get smashed up, it got scattered. Stayed in warehouses for decades, and every now and then someone would remember it and recuperate it. And this became the backdrop to an open-air theatre in a tiny little park at a place just down the road from me. That's the text. If anyone ever wants to read it, you can. And now I'm going to give you a little bit of mindfulness. So I've got these really cool books, and they're called Mindful Thoughts for someone or other. There's Mindful Thoughts for bird watchers, for walkers, for artists, for creators or makers, and all sorts of them. And this one is city dwellers. So this is my way of actually reading some of these books that I buy, and also passing on a little thing to you. I don't know if you sit on trains and everybody's got their heads down in there. And I'll just see if anyone's said hello again. Beatrice, hello, how are you doing? Oh my God. Raya, hi Raya. Oh my God, I almost hit something which said end broadcast, which wouldn't be cool. So thanks guys for watching. I'm going to read you something from this book called Mindful Thoughts for City Dwellers. If you've ever been sitting on a train and you see every single person has got their nose in their phone and you think, that's kind of sad. Well, that's what this person who wrote this book is getting at here. She says, togetherness is wonderful for the soul, but it remains crucial that we have times of physical solitude, times that relieve us from the sharp elbows of crowds. Solitude is a little gift we can give ourselves. It offers us a chance to switch off from the constant distractions that follow us around most days and replenish our minds. It gives us space to connect with that inner voice and think deeper thoughts than our to-do lists allow. That doesn't sound like what I said it was, but you'll see, it gets there. The fact that a city might not offer the typical hideaways that help revive the spirit, a secluded shore or woodland, lake. This is my getaway lake. Or proximity to them does not mean we cannot discover spaces in it that allow us to be alone. It seems inconceivable that in the densely populated city that there could ever be an occasion when we would barely brush by another soul. And so often, therefore, instead of making time in our lives to actively seek out hiding places, we are passive in allowing our alone time to always happen in the close company of others. I hope the wind isn't messing this up. As useful, there's about another paragraph, as useful as they are for many tasks, mobile phones have made us less inclined to be creative users of time. This thought occurs every time I observe a train pull away from a station and witness carriages packed with commuters, scrolling screens, isolating themselves into a digital cocoon, a virtual garden shed of alone time. But all our phones do, in this respect, is provide an illusion of separation. Staring at screens may seal us from the pack and allow us to disappear down the rabbit warren of the internet, but all the while, our minds are on duty, absorbing information, communicating, organizing calendars, and when a new message strikes and we're alerted to it by that excitable ping, we become prisoner of the pressure of having to respond promptly, constructively, with good humor. It's a very modern day pressure that saps so much mental energy and impacts our powers of concentration. So that was about twice as long as usual. And she actually goes on in the next paragraph to talk about maybe spending time on trains, not with your nose in a phone, but reading one of those things, a book, for example. And I really get that. And although when I go on trains, I often look at my phone. I was going to say when I go on phones, I often look at my train. I also try to read a chapter of a book. And there's something beautiful about reading chapters of books. And, it just gets you away from this constant stream of little messages into one big message. I regret not having read so many books in my life, the classics. And so there's that. Anyway, that was a little touch of mindfulness. I've got people saying hello. Facebook user says, yes, I love the solitude. It gives us most liberating moment. That's probably Raya. Yeah. Okay, right now I'm gonna look at some of the things that you guys have created. So I invite you every single day. I invite you to be creative and to post something that you've created in the comments under this video. So let's have a look at some people who have done that. I'm going to start with Dorothy. Dorothy is on my masterclasses, some of my masterclasses. She's doing the creativity masterclass at the moment. Dorothy is amazing. This is her up in the top right. She's just created a painting. It's kind of abstract, very emotional, sort of spiritual stuff. And then she plays around. She's done my photography masterclass as well. So she plays around a lot with photographs these days. And she produces some amazing creations, including putting them together in grids, and then she plays around with the shapes. Here's another one. Now, this one you'll find very personal. As you can see, I sent her a little square, one of my infinity squared squares, and she did a grid with it. I can't begin to tell you how touching it is when something that I've created and sent to somebody, they then go and create with it as well. It's a wonderful feeling, and it is absolutely what I talk about when I talk about the creativity cycle, where you create something, you share it with people, and then you learn from their reaction to it. And through that learning, you are then inspired to create more. But if it goes according to plan, me sharing my creativity with them inspires them to be creative. And then they will share their creativity with me. And that is a wonderful thing. And then that inspires me. So Dorothy has done that with this wonderful thing. You can see my little infinity squared puzzle piece in all sorts of places, including with a bunch of dandelions. And there she is on her own. And this is an amazing thing I'm going to tell you. I had a chat with her and we talked about signing photos and signing paintings, and she didn't sign them. And I said, well, wow, try it. I think it's good. I think you should. I think it's a good thing to own your stuff, to show that it belongs to someone. Otherwise it's just any other picture. So her name is Dorothy Christine Östlund, And I played around in my mind and I came up with this, which was a kind of a logo for her. And thought nothing more of it. Hang on, just trying to protect the microphone again. Thought nothing more of it. And then lo and behold, just check this out, please. Check this out. Compare that to this. Would you believe it's the same thing? Came from my little sketch. It's an amazing style. It looks like a bling jewelry that some rapper would have around his neck or something, or the front of a car. It's incredible. And so she started signing her paintings. And yeah, she actually signed one. So that's amazing. Well done, Dorothy. This is from Alison. Alison is doing my creativity masterclass. So I invite you to join me on any of my masterclasses, anything at all, be coached by me. That's kind of why I'm doing these things as well, to let you know that I encourage people to be as creative as they would love to be. So Alison is doing my creativity masterclass, and she's having breakthroughs all the time. She decided to do a project where she would try to create in 9 different ways. It lasts for 9 weeks. Instead of doing one thing for 9 weeks, she's doing one thing, something different each week anyway. So this is her latest project, this week's project. Let's start, she said. And what is she going to do? She's going to use fruit, chopped up fruit, to do stamps with paint. And she actually created a vegetable bag for herself. There are vegetables inside, and she's decorated with stamps of vegetables. So isn't that cool? Isn't that creative? All coming from just, chatting and stuff like that. Now this is from Thomas. My old friend Thomas, who is ever so creative. He's a bit like me. He doesn't know what he's going to create, but he always creates. And this is part of the Creativity Masterclass, where we do a kind of rainbow mountain thing to watch our progress. And he's done a wonderful one there. This one is Dorothy's rainbow mountain. It's on the side, sorry. But you can see everybody interprets it the way they can. I think he's actually interpreting it with rubber bands. There are no rules, folks, when it comes to creativity. And this again is Thomas, who has done an amazing little story. He actually cut out those little white shapes. They're either clouds or sheep. And he's created a story and he's stuck them on. And isn't it wonderful? It's creating stuff with hands. Do you remember? Remember like kids do and like we used to do? And he's going back to that. And it's such a relief, such a beautiful relief from just all high tech and stuff like that. I wanted to show you this as well, which is my latest creation for today. And it goes with my infinity squared paintings. You can see one there. And this is number 8. It's a metaphor. I won't read it, but it's a metaphor for life, which I am associating with my paintings, my infinity squared paintings. So the idea is that when you adopt a painting, they're little ones, they're desktop size, they're really cool. And I'm writing metaphors. My objective is to write 81 metaphors. I'm up to 9, so I'm about to finish 9. And those will go out to whoever's adopted my paintings with a special note of thanks. So that's this one here. Ever links, always unique. The point is, every single square in my paintings, every single side of every single square links up perfectly with another side. That's the thing. The magical thing is that there's no beginning and no end to my paintings. And you could look at them. They're a metaphor for life. You could actually think of them as a metaphor for life. So there's a new metaphor there. It's starting to rain, by the way. And I'm just going to show you one more thing. This is from the masterclass. It's from the next lesson in the masterclass. And I read this quote yesterday, but I'm going to show it to you again in a different way. And it came from Picasso. Although the cartoon looks like Dali, it came from Picasso. And he said, "It took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child." And I absolutely love that quote because it's about my book's getting wet and everything now. It's about remembering, when we were pure creators when we were kids, and then we learnt how to create properly. We learnt how to paint properly, and yet, oh my goodness, wouldn't it be nice to be as spontaneous as kids when we create? So I love that quote from Picasso. And this isn't a quote from Einstein on the right, but it's something about Einstein that is part of this presentation, which is part of my creativity masterclass. And it's the fact that Einstein, this mathematical genius, to work on his theories, he would play the violin. and he would imagine himself floating off around the universe on sunbeams or something like that. So within, I'm getting really wet now, within this mathematical genius, he was actually stimulated by very, very beautiful sort of heartfelt stuff like music and imagination. And this lesson is actually on imagination. Okay, I think I'm about finished there. And do I have anything else to show you? No, I'm getting wet. My head is getting wet. I need to tell you that I'm starting a mastermind, not a masterclass, a mastermind, starting as soon as I have enough people. Please come on it. And you can read all about it by going to infinitecreativitynow.com/mastermind. There's no lessons, there's no training. It's literally we get together on a regular basis once a week for about 9 weeks and get incredibly creative. I will also be running my masterclasses again soon. The photography one will be starting soon, and the creativity one, and I coach people. So I'm going to stop there because I'm getting soaked. Have I got any more comments? Amazing creative work, says maybe Raya. I can't imagine. So beautiful. Love, Sab, you are genius. I think that's Raya. Raya, you are amazing too. Raya, I'm doing something like you. I am. Hang on, I'll just show you my face for one more second if I can. No, that's not it. Where am I? Yeah, sorry. Doing all this on my phone. I decided to do these outside. It does have its downsides. Raya, I've decided to do something like you. I'm going outside. Well, you're not going outside, but I'm doing these for 81 days in a row. Can you imagine? Well, you can because you've done it and you're amazing too. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. It's been a bit crazy. It's soaking wet. My phone's wet. And I've done number 4. Bye for now. Take care and be creative. Contribute something creative in the comments to this video and I will talk about it tomorrow. Bye.